Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. I don't know. Saturday was weird. I apologize for that. I tell you what the issue was literally just the keyboard was not plugged in. That's all that happened. Like, I couldn't figure it out. And we were live, and I couldn't talk to Laura. I couldn't talk to anybody. And so, at least I think that was the issue, because after I unplugged it, plugged back in all the way, everything seemed to work fine. But the other issue was I was just having a shitty day because our cat had just died, and we were really just still dealing with it because it happened late the night before. I was in no condition to do a show, and so I just used that as a really good excuse to say, fuck it. So, anyway, good morning, everybody, and thank you for putting up with numerous days of no awake. I know. It's like cocaine. You just miss it so much. It's so much. No, not really. Never mind. Thinking about the 90s and stop that. Anyway, we got a good show today. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Carol L. and Barbara and Melissa and Eco and Kat and Deniz. How are you? Eco, no rebirth. Okay. Real Jingy. What are we talking about there? Phil, how are you? Ashley Terry, you're around. Thank you, sir, for all your help and guidance with we're getting all this graphics and stuff ready for the event coming up. If you haven't seen the little promo I put up there, that's my handiwork. The things I like to do when I feel like I have time to do things that aren't necessarily wholly directed at saving the planet, but for fun, is make little trailers. You'll be seeing a lot more of those. I really would request that you share those for this event. I'm trying to get as much going on it as possible. And yeah, I jumped ahead to talk about the Eclipse the Establishment because I'm all excited about it because it's actually coming together pretty well. So I'm excited about that. Phil, send John money. Yes, thank you, Phil, for pushing that out. Well, there's links in the description to patreon.com/uphill media. That's where you should go to do that. And you can just keep my little thing going there at patreon.com/John Ellis. But it looks like we're going to become a nonprofit entity on Eclipse Day. I just confirmed with Larry Taylor that he will be down here on the 21st. So that means Larry and Ash will be right around here. We're all going to get together and we're going to sign the documents. They're going to sign documents. I'm not signing anything. They're going to sign the documents to create a nonprofit that will make this all bigger. And hopefully that's the goal anyway. So you guys, because of your support and your being here, that's you've made it. That's why we're here at this point. We've been able to stay alive and grow and get more people involved and spread the word and build new shows, and it's functioning. So thank you all. It's been awesome. Ashley Terry, I got folks looking out for me too. My producer ordered dark lens filters for me for the Eclipse. Wonderful. Yeah, we got it. Just so you guys know, if you're going to try to take pictures or anything of this eclipse, if you're anywhere near it, you've got to put these filters over your cameras. It will burn the lens out on your digital cameras, your phones, your eyeballs. It's the sun. It's not looking at the sun on TV. It's the sun. So, yeah, we're going to bring it to you on TV with Live View Solo, and I'm excited about that. So is, by the way, Joyce. I sent Joyce the promo, and she's very excited about it, too. So things are going good. Things are going good in my little tiny bubble. As for the rest of the world, not so much. Let me get back to the card. Hey, Soul Rebel. How you doing? Sally, how are you? Good to see you. in Pine City, Minnesota. Thank you for watching from Pine City, Minnesota. Who else is new here today? We got Steve Collins over here. I haven't even said hi. I got 2 Germans with me today. We got both. We got a full audience. Actually, I'm going to start with the Dayton Turkin German. Who's got a danger date coming up that we're not, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. How you doing, Dennis?
Well, I'm pretty good, but I'm so nervous about tomorrow because tomorrow will be the first day that I meet my girlfriend's parents. So I think some of you guys had go through this experience. So yeah, wish me luck. Wish me luck.
yeah, and it's a little worse. You want to go into why, or are you afraid they might watch this program?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll start.
Because my girlfriend knows about this, and probably when she's looking at it, and for maybe her father busts in, and we don't want to go in there. So yeah, yeah.
All right. Well. That's Well, just good. We wish Dennis luck in that. Meeting parents for the first time, always tough. This is oldest daughter, even tougher, and we'll just leave it at that. Markus, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very good, John, and hey to you both, to Dennis, and Dennis, I wish you luck tomorrow, and though your girlfriend's dad is, as I heard, no fan of the Awake show so far, maybe we will convince him to check it out. And to all others, good morning, America.
Thank you, Markus, thank you. See if I can get us all in here in one shot. Where'd you go? You're over there. No. Where are you? There we go. Show your shirt, Markus. Show everybody your shirt.
Yeah, the shirt, yeah. The Discordian logo, the Discordians.
Yeah.
My religion, by the way.
And then Steve Collins, what did you think that was?
The Pentagon rotten to the core.
There you go. The Pentagon rotten to the core is what Steve thought.
Yeah. Nice picture as well. Yeah.
I thought it was Chrysler and an apple. Either way, it's really the Discordia shirt. Very nice shirt. Thank you for teaching us about that. I just want.
Thank you.
What is it? Density? Who said this? Back up. Are there shotguns? They have shotgun density. Do they have shotguns in Germany? You bet they do. The finest crafted shotguns because they're selling those weapons to Americans.
H&K, of course. Heckler & Co.
Right. So I'm sure they make a great shotgun.
No, they are specialized in handguns.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about Dennis getting shot with a shotgun. We're just looking out for you, man. I know. Moving on. This wasn't even the topic for today, and really, it's a bad way to start because the cover card is all serious, and we were just talking about the fact that he has to go meet the parents. Right? Get the guns, guys, going with your guns. Guess who's coming to dinner? Dennis. Yes, he is. and we wish him the best of luck. I'm glad that I'm old and don't have to do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
When you get to my age, anybody that you're going to date, there's odds are their parents are already dead or don't give a fuck one way or the other. So, Anyway, the cover card, guys. There's a story behind the card, and it's a pretty serious thing, and I've never seen that picture before. How many of you out there know what this is? So first of all, it's a Norman Rockwell piece, and in my little white world growing up in the suburbs, Norman Rockwell was a guy that you saw during Christmas time because his cards came out, or old calendars, and reminiscent of the 40s and 50s, and he did life stuff, but it was normally pretty suburban, very whitewashed pictures of life in America. And I didn't know that he had done commissioned work for more serious endeavors. And that one is called Southern Justice, Murder in Mississippi. And thank you. This is, yikes, I pull it up here.
But it's telling a long story.
Scroll up a little bit, just a tad. This is, thanks. Yes, this is a I'm just going to read you the story. On June 21st, 1964, 3 young civil rights activists, a 21-year-old black man from Meridian, Mississippi named James Chaney, and 2 white Jewish youth from New York, Andrew Goodman, 21, and Michael Schwärmer, 25, were kidnapped and savagely murdered in Neshoba County in Philadelphia, Mississippi. They'd been working in 1964 Freedom Summer Campaign to register African American voters in Mississippi when they met their end at the hands of racist killers. Those killers were actually the police, dressed as Ku Klux Klan. The police arrested them on bullshit charges and let them go after they made a plan to murder them later that evening. Cops. Racist cops. Nothing much has changed in America. One can imagine, at the time, only 6.7% of black Mississippians were registered to vote. So these were volunteers trying to get people registered to vote. One can imagine the American social realist Ben Shahan creating prints extolling America. So this just goes on explaining that Norman Rockwell did this. He was commissioned to do this by a magazine. And that's the full image right there. Let's scroll it here. There we go. That's the full image right there. As much of it I can get into the screen. And you can see the shadows of the people. Originally, this was in 2 panes, and he had the police force with Ku Klux Klan garb on and weapons, which is what they had. They were armed with guns. They savagely murdered these people. They were cops. They were racist cops. Don't ever think that there was a time in history where cops were just all clean and good. I don't think that ever existed. You give people power like that, and then you let them control themselves and police themselves and give them oversight to themselves, and they will become corrupt. Anyway, he changed the picture down to just having the shadows, but it used to have a second pane. I came across that picture doing research on Dorothy Gasquet, who I'm interviewing tomorrow on We the People, and she's running for Washington's 3rd District. And I was looking up the OG there, right? Because that's one of our things. This is Dorothy. By the way, Markus, thank you so much for picking up some extra work and really doing a fantastic job putting together the rundown and building slides for We the People. That's really great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and you're welcome. It was fun to do some research because this is the best thing I learn about your candidates also, and to see how are they acting alike and what differs them from their opponents or others, and very interesting. Yeah, and I will go on with this.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. It's made it a lot. It's made it easier for me, and hopefully it'll make it a better show because there's a lot more information in the rundown and a lot more talking points. But this was. I always look up the OG, the original representative for that district, just to have some fun with history. And the original for Washington was Miles Poindexter. I've actually lost how I found this connection. Somewhere in here there's a connection between this guy and Rockwell. But this guy, it had to do with lawyers. It had to do with the whole Supreme Court justice, liberals in the law. This guy... Poindexter left the Republican Party in 1913 to join the Progressive Party. He was one of only 3 Republican senators to vote to confirm Louis Brandeis a Supreme Court justice. Why is that important? Brandeis was known as the people's lawyer. This guy was like an insane Bernie super liberal people's lawyer back in the early 1900s when there weren't a lot of people's lawyer. He did work for free. He helped create the right to privacy laws, basically writing an entire new chapter of our law. He was involved with the Federal Reserve System. He was called the Robin Hood of law. It's just like this guy did so many incredible things. And here's the sad part. I did this research, but several days ago. I've forgotten how I actually connected this guy and the murder in the Mississippi picture. I think my overall point was that when you start looking into this stuff, when you dive into research, it can take you into so many new places, and you learn so many new things, and it's just so amazing to find throughout history so many people who were on the side of super liberal. I mean, he was a radical liberal for the time. That was left, right? And it seems like every time I go look up an OG for a district, I find some connection to a super liberal. it's becoming a trend. It's just very very interesting. What do you again, coming over to chat, not knowing what the hell you guys are talking about, and I see Schultze in 100. I love the part of the film where he grabs the dude's nuts with a pair of vice grips. Who's your boy now?
They are talking about the picture from before, with the when you talked about the whole thing with the whitewashing and so on, Mississippi and so on. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was Deniz and others confirmed it was Mississippi Burning, the movie with Gene Hackman. Yeah.
So that was supposed to be about this.
Yes.
Yeah, and also it is a big scene in the movie about the civil rights movement in the 60s. Selma, who was big a 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember,
and they were showing this scene also. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, so Selma, I never saw
because it's very telling about today's society also. So yeah.
We've not changed, have we?
No.
Nope.
It's
not at all.
You guys aren't Americans, so you get to see it from an outside perspective. As people looking at our culture in the last 100 years, have we really changed much?
No.
Not with regard to racism, I don't think.
No. I see. But I'm asking myself, did we as humans change in the past 100 years?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is really the bigger picture. Yeah.
White people still think they're better than others. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed yet.
Sad but true.
And in America, we've just done everything we can to deny our own hypocrisy and further our own causes. It's pretty sad. So here I'm going to be a hypocrite because that's America. And we're going to talk about Amazon for a second. So I use Amazon. This makes me a hypocrite. I'm pretty pissed off about it, but I'm going to talk about how my hypocrisy can be used differently. Here's how I rationalize my hypocrisy with purchasing Amazon products. So recently, Amazon was in the news for creating a whole bunch of jobs, and this was, touted as, oh, look, Amazon makes a bunch of jobs, because jobs, that's what we base our existence on in America, is whether we have jobs, right? Not healthcare or roofs over our heads or anything. Do you have a job? That means you have value, right, in capitalist America. Anyway, turns out that the jobs that Amazon is offering are basically China wages. None of the new positions that they put in, save like 4 or 5, which are management positions, even make enough to cover your own wages. They're not even paying $15 an hour. They don't even pay a living wage. Right? I was surprised at some of these wages because back 17 years ago now, I was making the same amount of money as a entry-level warehouse worker on a management path with Sam Ash music as these guys are making today. Basically an entry-level warehouse person, right? That's 17 fucking years ago. That's ridiculous. That's just fucking ridiculous. And yet Jeff Bezos, who is now all, bulked out and looks like fucking, he's got plenty of money to make himself great. He pays his employees shit.
I saw him once.
And, the thing is, here's the catch. People have to take these jobs. It's like, I either work there or I die. I starve. I lose my house. I lose my car. I lose this. I lose that. Right? In the growing trend in America of people who are homeless and have jobs that can only afford them to be homeless and eat food. And at the same time, we have, and I got to say, we've interviewed some people who really find it hard to believe that we need to raise wages to $15 an hour. And as somebody who used to be a small business owner who failed at it, I say this: if you can't pay your employees a minimum wage, fuck you. Your business dies. Because I'd rather have your business die and those employees have to get real jobs that pay a minimum wage than have employees die. So hey, small business owner that isn't paying your employees $15 an hour, what is it about your business model that ain't working? And really what you have to do is this has to become laws in states so that the change happens. In every state that this has been changed, right? You see the effect come around, because when you give money back to the people that are actually going to spend it, they spend it. And it goes right back into fucking business. And then the business is like, oh, look, I'm making more money. I can afford to pay my people a good fucking wage. That's how it's supposed to work. Anyway, Amazon, for as much as I love Prime, for as much as I love my deals, and I love how easy it is for me to buy my shit, including what I grow my weed with back here, I need to find a way to force Jeff and co. to pay a reasonable wage. Jeff isn't going to do that. He doesn't give a fuck. None of these companies give a fuck. The only way we do that is with legislation.
And why should they give a fuck, John? Please tell me. If Amazon has everything under control in their big warehouses, they will push automation. They don't need people anymore.
Right.
That's the problem.
I work for Amazon, guys.
Right now?
For half of for half a year after my apprenticeship was finished, when I got my diploma, but I didn't get a new job after this right on. So yeah, our local job center said to me, "Hey, Amazon is looking for workers for the Christmas business, so yeah, you can work there." But they pay really poorly. Really, with this wage, I was able to pay my rent and have food on my table, but nothing more. But I have the advantage again in opposed to the Americans, because I have healthcare.
Right.
I don't have to worry about this. But for a German job, it's really low pay. And even with this low pay, with the standard we have here in Germany, Amazon is fighting to get it even lower.
Right.
So the whole concept of the company is,
Walmart.
pay less.
Thank you for saying that.
Less.
I want to, first of all, thank you for speaking out about the healthcare aspect, because Melissa H., who is a small business owner who has an employee or has to choose, who was screaming at me right now, and I get it, Melissa H., that was when I was in business, that was what my business partner and I couldn't cover. It was like, shit, we could pay a really good wage if we didn't have to cover these fucking healthcare costs. The healthcare buy-in that you have to pay in as an employee is insane. It's ridiculous. Healthcare costs are so high. You know, the one thing we have to change, the people in government who have taken money from the healthcare lobbyists, they've got 1,300 plus lobbyists making sure that their agenda stays. They get to make a lot of fucking money charging us. That's this. So absolutely. In Germany, Amazon pays a crappy wage, but it doesn't have to, they don't have to cover the healthcare. I don't even know how that works. He's got healthcare. So Deniz can go work a crappy job at Amazon, make money, and not have to shell out half of that wage to healthcare, which is what happens here. It's the problem is more than the wage. The problem is the corporate control over everything else. I get it. It's a bigger problem. On top of that is the pharmaceutical industry. This next piece. So what's interesting about this isn't the fact that Bernie Sanders is introducing a pharma bill. All right. He's tried this before, and I love him for it, and he's going to introduce a bill, and it's going to get a few sign-ons, but it's not going to pass because the Democrats don't hold power in government, and the Republicans don't give a fuck, and most of the Democrats don't give a fuck. but it'll get some signers. And if they want to pass single payer or anything close to a healthcare system that we're looking for, they're going to have to do this. What is this? This bill basically says that the pharmaceutical companies have to charge the U.S. This is what's asinine. They have to charge the U.S. fair pricing. That we have to write legislation that says so. So in other countries, not all other countries, but in most other countries, they have laws that say you can't charge us this much for your shit. In the United States, we're like, we took millions of dollars from you last year to get elected, so whatever you want to charge us for that drug, that's basically what our politicians have said. Thank you for helping me get elected. You want to charge $9 million for that drug? No problem. I understand. Research and development totally costs a lot of money. I get it. Lawsuits totally cost a lot of money. You should be able to charge $9 million for that drug. Thank you for your campaign donation. And I look forward to your campaign donation in my next election. That's the difference. So when it comes time for our Congress people to sign on to this bill, they may say, well, we definitely have to do something about controlling drug prices in pharma. No, I'm not signing that bill. It's got some issues. The issues are that I'm taking money from the very people that this would hurt. Can't sign that bill. Sorry. Right? So we have to replace those fuckers with people that aren't taking money from the healthcare and pharmaceutical industries. That is the only way to fix this. It's the only way to stop the Amazons. It's the only way to regulate. There's a word we don't hear anymore in our government. Regulation. Regulation of environment. Regulation of the military. Regulation of business. Regulation of law. We don't regulate shit anymore. We got people in the government that don't give a fuck because they're making a lot of money by deregulating everything. This bill, and the reason it's interesting, back to the whole point 10 minutes ago, is that there's a version of this ready to go that everybody is interested in signing that is only for the military. Go figure. So there's a DOD version that says you can't charge the military more than what you charge other countries for this shit. The rest of the populace, fuck them. Let them die. They can't afford it. But our military, until they're done serving us, all the Viagra they need at the same price you're charging the Germans for Viagra. Okay? That's basically the bill. And Bernie's like, why aren't we going to offer that to everybody? Huh? What's the reason there? You don't tell me we can't offer this to everybody, right?
Thank you, John. Thank you, John, but I don't need it.
Older Germans like Markus.
And John? Older Germans like Markus. Yeah, John. Well, anyway, I think it would be a nice idea if you guys want to get really, really angry. Then I suggest Deniz and I will do a segment for the 9 hours ahead in which we report about the German healthcare, what people have to pay and what service they get.
Love it.
And I'm pretty sure you guys will go nuts when you hear about it. I just got a page opened. I won't tell you about it right now. But when I see it here, it didn't come into my mind what's all covered in my healthcare system here in Germany. You guys will go crazy if you get to listen to this.
He tells me
so
stuff.
we go a little specific in it. Okay.
Yeah. I want to know what are general costs, what are wait times for things from getting a cast on your arm to getting a kidney, right? That kind of stuff. Right.
Okay.
And
I think we should cover what a normal guy has to pay, what a richer guy has to pay, and special things like, as you said, needing a kidney or something like this.
That would definitely be a special thing to need a kidney.
Yeah. Kidneys are needed in Germany as well, and the cost factor should be considered as well. And who pays for this? Right.
Kidneys are needed in Germany as well. No kidneys for Germans.
Now, John, to get to a serious point here with the kidneys.
Yes.
we also have a shortage here in Germany about kidneys.
Oh,
Because
seriously?
the people are not willing to donate their organs. So therefore, yeah,
Oh, so you got so
the
donating your organs is
number
not a
is
thing there?
the number is going in smaller and smaller. So yeah, we have a little problem. We have shortage here with organs. Yeah,
I didn't
a
mean
lot
to
of people on waiting list, and so
I
yeah.
didn't mean to make light of kidney shortage. My apologies.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But this
It's
is a
clear, it's
serious
clear.
topic. So
It is.
yeah.
It is. It is.
Look, I didn't know. Apparently, it is. I mean, another reason we should really be working on just growing yourself a new kidney with stem cells, which we're working on. We can grow other things to this point. But yeah, that's an interesting cultural issue there. I mean, so is it religious? Is it what is the reason that they don't want to give up their body parts? Is it just
No. It's for the main reason is we have some bad things happened in the healthcare system. That means that richer people bought their organs, and the people who were before this scandal willing to donate. They said, "Hey, if I donate, why do I donate? Some rich fuck buys this, and a really poor guy who really needs it to survive." And for example, it's a father of 3 or something like this, and he don't get it. Therefore, the people are very, very they don't trust the whole system anymore in this particular thing. Yeah.
wow? Okay.
I told you in the green room about the scandal we had, and this is what Dennis is referring to. You know.
So that's why. So I mean, that would make sense.
And in my opinion, every citizen of Germany should be obliged to, in the case of death, that he spends his organs to others. This is my personal opinion.
Say that one more time. Say that.
That in the case someone dies, that his organs should be free for transplantations for people who are in need of organs.
That should just be law. You think?
I think this should be law. Yes.
I don't know if I'd make it law because
so,
you've got
I
who hate I hate religious bullshit and cultural bullshit like that. But even I'd be like, look, if you want to keep your organs, keep your organs. You don't want to donate them, don't donate them. I don't have a problem with that.
But you don't need them if you're in the clouds with your harp, and you don't need them. You know. What will you do with them when you're dead? And so they have a purpose, in my opinion.
Except that body rights transfer to family, and the family's going to retain those rights. So I guess I get it. Look, I'm all for it. I'm just saying you're going to have a hard. You can't even look. That's a stretch to get people to want to do that. You can't even get them to abandon their archaic beliefs. You know?
It is not. Please. It is not like in the Monty Python film. You know, when the surgeon came to the people while they are alive and take off.
That does happen. That happens today, though.
It happens today. Yes.
It's really a trust issue. Nothing more, nothing less. It has nothing to do with religion and so on. Most people don't trust the whole organ giving system we have here in Germany. Well, because of those scandals happened in the past. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, and the second thing is religion, culture. You can go in, but first thing is a trust issue. Nothing more, nothing less.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from kidneys. What, Markus?
Yeah.
Do you want to wrap up kidneys?
But I only want to close this. But if it was law, then you don't need to the trust thing, you know, because this rule would be for everyone.
But no, I disagree. You'd still have the point being is that they had rich people that were able to pay to get themselves headed up on the list for kidneys, and people were like, "Why am I going to donate my kidney to the cause if it's going to go to a rich fuck?" I totally agree. That's I get it. But
of course, this should be excluded.
But what they're saying is, you make it a law, that doesn't mean that it's going to be upheld.
Okay. No. That's right. Two different things.
The chance for corruption is still there. Sorry for peeking your
yes,
guys.
yeah.
But anyway, you guys seem to do a better job of holding people responsible to laws than we do at this point. So
Okay.
just leave it at that. Hey, Aaron. Aaron's from Australia. Says he got a kidney transplant for free down there in Australia with your system that even our president admits is better than ours, but won't implement here. Remember that? It's like Australia has a better system, but yeah. And he sent a message to Congress that they need to do better with. He's like, no, you need to go back. You need to make a better healthcare. He really thinks that there's going to be a way. This is the problem with Trump. He thinks there's going to be a way to keep the insurance companies rich and making shit tons of profit and provide healthcare to people that they can afford. That won't exist. The profit margin on health insurance is going to be drastically cut. It needs to be drastically cut because they're murdering people for profit. That they really are murdering, and our Congress is allowing them to do so. Every member of Congress that does not support a single-payer healthcare system at this point in time, or does not support regulating healthcare industries and pharmaceutical industries, is supporting mass murder on behalf of companies for profit. And that's really my separator. That's my purity test for Democrats, which we're going to talk about. But we've got even more fun news to talk about. This is just like we're just getting started here, people. Just getting started. Climate. I had like 10 climate things loaded up for Saturday. I have another 10 loaded today. They're not even the same 10. Climate's just going off the roof. We're raising the roof on climate, right? Here's scientists fear Trump will dismiss blunt climate report. This is a government report that's done every 4 years, and it is alarming, and it is honest, and it basically says America's feeling the effects of climate change now. We've been saying this for a long time. This big fat government report says it, but they leaked it to the New York Times so that the public would get it, because they knew if they delivered it directly to this particular president's office, it would probably be thrown in the trash, used for toilet paper, tweets written on it, maybe a doodle, who knows. But he certainly wouldn't have released it to the public. I don't even know if he's going to be able to comprehend the results. And Lamar Smith is certainly going to think it's a bunch of shit. We don't even have people in the offices of high power right now that believe in science, much less understand it or comprehend even some of the rudimentary aspects of our planet. So this report doesn't have anything good to say, honestly. Maybe you scroll down. I don't even know if we're going to be able to read any of this stuff, but okay, scroll seems to be working today. Yay. The evidence for a changing climate abounds from the top of the atmosphere to the depths of the oceans. Authors note that thousands of studies conducted by tens of thousands of scientists have documented climate changes on land and in the air. The report was completed this year. Okay, scroll down more. We're just going to look at some deadly statistics. If I can find. There's the report. You guys can get the report from here, right? So they talk about the 2 degrees Celsius mark and saying where we're headed in that. It's not good. It basically says we've got to get our shit together now. It's the same kind of information James Hansen put out. It's the same kind of information Al Gore put out. It's the same kind of information that Exxon knew in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Obama knew this information. The Clintons knew this information. Reagan knew this information. Ford knew this information. Nixon knew this information. Rockefeller knew this information, actually. The Smoke and Gas Commission, 1944. Standard Oil. Standard Oil already knew they were fucking up the planet. We've been lying for a long time. Anyway, here's how America works today. Scientists are subverting government because the government is censoring data, the truth. At the same time this is happening, some other branch of government, they're removing the words climate change. They are censoring, stripping out, redacting the words climate change from any reports being issued by this branch of government. We're going to get to that report in a little bit. That's like Fahrenheit 451. That's, Nazi Germany did a lot of book burning and censorship. We are doing the same right now. It's no different. We are in a digital age, so we're not piling up books in a street with a bonfire. We are wiping out data from our federal government, publicly sponsored websites. We are eliminating whole aspects of government dedicated to science. That is censorship far beyond a book burning.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
absolutely, John. There was an article yesterday, I don't know where it was, which said that, I don't know, it was the EPA or some other agency, that they don't want to have the terms climate change and others anymore named as such, but to refer to other less threatening sounding terms like weather disturbances or something like this. And
Yep.
this narration shows exactly what's going on, and I
It was
completely agree what you said.
someone leaked an email where and presented it online, and yeah, the people are enraged about this. But you guys, you can see you really are moving with Trump like in a fascist way, because how do you get a strong man? You have to have a crisis before. For example, we have the when we have the Black Friday, when the whole Wall Street and so on crashed, it also had effects on us here in Germany. Also, we have the high unemployment at the time, and also the First World War was not far away, and the Nazis used this and mobilized and fear-mongered and so on. The same thing what Trump did. So yeah, you can really say we can compare those times in Germany with today's times in America.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The only difference being, at least at this point, is that he's not really delivering much. You know, I don't know how much Hitler delivered to the German people in terms of actual return on investment before things went all war, but Trump hasn't really delivered for his base, and his base is leaving him quickly. It's not. It may appear to you from MSM that his base is growing. It is not. His support is waning, and especially his core base. His core base is basically the undereducated white folk of America. Right.
And look, here's the best about it. Today I read there are plans that the retirement age should be risen to 70 years old. And this is such a slap in the face of those elder people who voted for Trump. It is unimaginable, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, except they're going to believe that to make America great again, they need to keep working to cover their healthcare costs, because he's going to take care of that too.
Yeah, healthcare should be in this article was written. It should be cut to 1/3 of it, of the budget now. It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Hey Dewey, how you doing? Steve Collins, make all 50 legal for weed. Yeah, there's a bill out to do that too, but that's not going to pass.
John, I have a little question. When do you guys are entering retirement? 65?
Now.
Okay,
yeah.
So we are in Germany. It's 67.
Yeah, 67. I mean,
but,
you're not.
But
What's a
it
few
will
more
probably
years?
also move to 70, and we will see. There will be a time in the future, I think, when this whole neoliberal system will survive the next couple of decades. That we will. My generation will never have the luxury of an retirement.
Forget it.
Well, retirement. I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
is something I personally feel for my future.
Yes? Are you still? All right. Anything else?
No, sorry.
No, I just want to make sure. You just seem to have a lot to say on this subject. I want to keep
Dennis, it was not your fault. You didn't destroy it.
All right.
Okay, sorry, guys.
No, that's all right. I want to create a show called Dennis Rants. We'll just let you run.
Yeah.
No, I didn't rant. Hey.
This show is called Awake with John, and then you guys are sidelined, so I'm the one who gets to primarily rant all the time, which is why the ratings stay where they do.
Sorry.
Never mind, I'm just kidding.
Rant a John.
Okay. Okay, I will mute myself for the rest of the show. So
No.
guys,
I'm
You
joking.
don't.
Joking. You're absolutely necessary to this mix, my friend. You guys are putting out different ages? What are you guys talking about here? Oh, you think we should okay. You're saying 62, 65, or 55. You think we should retire at 55?
I think 55 is the best time, I think. Because after you worked, for example, 30 years or 40 years, I think you deserved, after this long time. You did everything right. You worked your ass off and so on. You deserve the time to enjoy your retirement. Do you know what I mean with this?
Well,
So
yeah, well,
that you not go in your retirement and hey, have fun. Last 10 years you're sick and all this stuff, and you are not able to do anything and so on. So I think lower the retirement, the age when you can retire. I think, yeah.
So, two thoughts on that. I mean, this is really where we can talk about this another time. I'd be interested in covering retirement in Germany versus retirement in America and what that affords you. I'd love to know what you guys get for your Social Security or whatever that is after retirement. You know,
It's nothing. It's nothing.
well, but can you live on it? You have health care, right? But you have health care.
This is the big problem in the middle and long future for Germany,
Yeah.
because people won't cover their daily life with what they get when they are in the retirement.
No,
Yeah,
that
they
sounds very American.
They get extra funds from the government. Otherwise, they will be homeless
Well, no,
or
but that's what I'm
starve.
saying. Wait, no, you guys missed my point. When you retire, so in America, we pay into Social Security, which we're supposed to get money
We have
back
also
when we
something
retire.
like this, yeah.
So the government does your government give you money when you retire so that you can continue to live?
Yeah, but what we get in the future, what Dennis and I will get in the future for when we retire, it is ridiculous. We all know that we cannot cover our daily life with this, because it would be about half of this what we earn now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but the people that are on it now, are they getting a good deal?
Yes.
But yeah.
No. I'm sorry. Not all, of course. Not all, of course.
No. We have to differ. It is we have to differ because it mattered how you what trade you did and so on, what kind of unions you had and so on. And therefore, for example, my grandpa worked in the iron branch of our economy, so he had a really good payment and retirement and so on.
Oh.
But if you are a hairdresser, for example, you did this job for 40 years because you loved it and so on. Even today, you get a retirement payment that is so low you can't live with this. So you have to this is really hurting the pride of all those who are dependent on the government, because they have to go to the government and say, hey, my retirement money is not enough. You have to give me money so that I can pay my rent and so on. But it's so humiliating, because these people worked all their life, but after retirement, hey, this I worked 40 years. I spent this precious time, 40 years of my life, for this little money.
Right, but do they
Are you
end up
kidding me?
homeless? So it was their responsibility to get a better job, right? Like that kind of a job is just a stepping stone job. Nobody said that was a career job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's American. I just thought I'd give you a little American there.
This is a typical American answer. Yeah.
It is. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It's and anyway, so just this is an interesting thing. So they don't get enough, but they can go back to the government and say, look, my retirement isn't enough. And does the government say, well, you're retired, so you get housing or you get this or that?
The thing is that, in contrary to America, Germany or Europe, especially in Germany, the future retirement people or people on retirement will be the majority here, and they will tell the politicians what policies they expect.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. Well, we're going to make sure they're covered.
We will see where it leads, but we will see if Dennis and I will see a euro or the currency we know in 20 years or longer when we go in retirement. And
sounds like you need to get involved in your government a little more, guys.
I am. I'm a member of a party.
I am a member of the party.
So
I know.
You see what happens? You see what happens, guys? Here's I'm playing the straw man. I am. In what way am I doing? I'm just doing America, right? What happens here, though? They have if they want to affect change, it's easier for them at this point because their government is more solid and listens to more people, And so they can get in and do some work. They may still have to do protesting and some other stuff, but it's not going to be like what we have to go through, right? They've been maintaining their ship.
No.
Okay,
No.
right? That's
Not at all.
that's what I'm saying. And the reason I'm saying that isn't to say, look at how much more we're going to have to do than Germany is, or to say, look how easy it is. It's to give us a glimpse of the future. When we have control of our government again, to at least Germany's extent, then we can make changes within that government faster and easier than we can now with America, the shithole, right? That's just a little hope for the future, everybody, that there will be a time.
Yeah, we don't have water suppression, gerrymandering, all this stuff we don't have here. So yeah.
No, I mean, you got problems, but I long for your problems.
Yeah. Just say.
I don't. Look, I mean, yeah. Anyway, all right. Moving on to like ground game and stuff.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Let's run through. This is just Paul. This is hilarious. How much of an effect are we having? How badly have the Republicans screwed up? Paul Ryan can't even get nice people at his fake town halls. He did a banker town hall, basically a town hall with a bunch of rich cats, and even the Republican rich cats in this town hall got in his face. They were like, you still haven't done anything, been 8 years, we keep putting into the party, what's going on, be time to, so Paul can avoid the rest of his real constituents, but even the fake ones that he thinks are going to be friendly are just done with his shit. They're done with the Republican Party. It's looking pretty bad. There was another guy, a Republican, made the statement, and this I found this interesting. The Republicans shot their wad on health care. That was basically, he's like, we're done. Everything we had is gone into health care, and we got nothing left. Let's hope that means that Mitch McConnell is toast, because turtle toast is the best kind. Just that sounds terrible. Anyway, real quick on this story. And the video is black, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. You can let it roll. It's cool. This is the commissioner, the police commissioner, Ken Davis, for Baltimore, where they found obvious evidence of cops planting drugs and arresting the people for planting the drugs. And he says it would be wrong to jump to the conclusion that police officers were ever doing anything wrong. Basically, the guy's lying out his ass to cover his cop buddies. His statement should have been, wow, this camera footage looks bad. Let's find out what's going on. My guys should never act like this, and I don't believe it. No, because corrupt ass motherfucker police chief douchebag there, all of his guys are okay to do this shit, plant evidence, beat the shit out of people, and be assholes, because he's the police commissioner who's going to always say, we certainly don't ever want to assume that a cop would ever do anything wrong. Let's not go there. Camera footage doesn't mean anything. I mean, there's a break in the footage between them planting the evidence, the camera goes off, and then a camera comes back on, and they find the evidence. Between then, who knows what they did? Rape somebody, kill somebody that was holding a pencil that they were threatened by? You never know. But let's not take this obvious body camera footage and say that possibly cops did anything wrong. No, I'm going to stand here as the commissioner and lie to your fucking faces and tell you that our cops never do anything wrong. This is fine. These were definite drug busts. You want to get rid of that shit? You want to stop the bad cops? Then you got to fire the asshole police commissioners that lie out their fucking ass to the American public. Police commissioners get appointed. Take a role in your government and fire your police commissioners. Because they're the ones that control the entire state of the fucking copdom. The top racist is right there. Racist, liars, thieves, assholes, thugs. No respect, no trust. And every time a cop goes on and lies out his fucking ass like that, he proves the point. Will any good cops stand up? Nope. They get in front of a camera and they lie. They lie. Assholes. Assholes. Moving on from cops. Always gets me pissed. Wisconsin is going to pay for Paul Ryan and go, oh yeah, oh my gosh. Let's talk about that before we move on to thousands of Bernies. Holy shit. You want to talk about Paul Ryan? He seems to be bringing in the contracts for Wisconsin. He's wrapping up the game for when he goes on the primary path to win the election. Like, oh, look, I brought in this, and these all came in. That's me working for my district or my state. No, it's going to cost Wisconsin taxpayers $3 billion to bring in the Foxconn plant that they're talking about being this big deal. That Foxconn historically has said a lot of big stuff and not delivered. So I think it's a lot of bullshit coming out of the Paul Ryan camp. Oh, look at that face. Just want to... See that face? That's him begging for mercy in a few years. Begging. Anyway, back to the other story. Here's the good news. We're building an army of thousands of well-trained Bernie candidates that are going to take over the government. And we're kicking ass at it already.
Yep.
We need to raise a lot more money, but there are thousands. This is like the third or fourth article I've seen on this. Different groups, training different people, all interconnected in some ways. This is the engine that we were talking about. And here's the thing about that engine. Right now, it's using the Democratic Party and its resources and fighting the Democratic Party. But once it's taken over a good portion of that, it can use its resources to take over in any direction. That's the power. That's the power we're taking right now. While we are moving forward with training our candidates, what do you see coming out of the DNC? You see a lot of the same bullshit. You see Kamala Harris and bullshit. You see, it's bullshit. They really haven't. They're not doing anything. They're just biding their time.
It's a fart in the wind, John.
And all we are is a fart in the wind. That's very nice. We'll have to make a song out of that. Thank you. That's beautiful. There's the DNC campaign theme song. Fart in the wind.
Yeah. Maybe they can cover the Elton John song somehow. I don't know. Candle in the wind.
Sally,
in the wind.
what is Sally? What you talking about? Minnesota has the cream of the crop in the police department. Eddie Munster can bite me. That would be funny if Eddie Munster wasn't his career star. What are you guys talking about? I'm lost. I'm lost on this. So poetic, yes. DNC blocking Nina and the progressive platform. There was a good quote today. Ben Dixon on Twitter was basically saying, if you want to see what's going to happen to Kamala Harris, look at what happened to Nina Turner. Right? Because Nina made an effort, like Bernie, to embrace the Democratic Party, and she was shit on. Right? Basically, hey, you're a person of color. Even better, you're a female. Can we use you? Thanks.
Yeah.
You really help us. What, Dennis?
There's a whole discussion. I watched it this morning around the topic because the corporate loyal voters are saying to the Bernie-crats and so on, you are sexist and misogynists and so on, because they're criticizing Kamala Harris. So the guy you mentioned said, what is the thing that they did with Nia Turner? It's the same thing. So yeah, therefore it's trending the whole time on Twitter about this. Yeah.
Yep.
They're bashing each other about nonsense and this thing. My opinion. So yeah. But
she took the money. She's taken the money, and I retweeted Ben. I said, look, at least Nina Turner chose purpose over title. Right? She could have taken DNC money. She could have signed on to the establishment bandwagon and run for whatever, and she would have had their full support. But she would have lost the support of the Bernie Sanders wing of the Democratic Party. She would have gone over to the establishment side. And thank God she has integrity. Sorry, Kamala. You're done. And thank you, Dewey. I appreciate that. Do not underestimate the Republican Party called DNC. Yes, exactly. It's just the other branch of the Republican. Alt left Republican.
Spot on.
Eddie fucking Munster. I know Eddie fucking Munster, but I don't know what is he in office somewhere? I'm sorry. Am I? Never mind. Ben Dixon is a shill? All right. You know who I think is a shill? Joy Reid. If you're going to call somebody a shill, let's go with Joy Reid. Ben Dixon isn't a shill. All right. Nina didn't go to the dark side. That's what we're saying. Not even close.
Nope.
PNP Railroad, the DNC is being fixed right now with 1,000 Bernie candidates with winning local races. The DNC becomes fixed as we infiltrate it and take it over. It's a ship. Get rid of the bodies on the ship that are doing no good. Replace them. Even Pelosi's body is on the line, and that's by the DNC themselves. They're like, we can't keep you here. Anyway, yeah, Joy Reid is the worst. And yes, we're fart stuff now, Jilly, not star stuff. Okay, more good ground game news. Holy shit, Charlottesville, Virginia backs reparations fund for black residents and votes to sell the Robert E. Lee statue. That's awesome. That's the equivalent of having like a Goering statue somewhere in the middle of Germany.
Hold on. Who buys a Robert E. Lee statue?
Oh, I bet you can find somebody in another state that there's plenty of people in Charlottesville that will probably buy it and save it and put it on their front lawn and build a memorial for it.
They better destroy that shit.
It should be melted down. Well, hopefully they'll sell it and give the funds as part of the reparation fund, right?
Yeah.
But PNP, I am watching. And instead of just watching, I'm participating. That's the difference. How do I know we're making change? Because I'm involved in that change directly. That's how I know. Before I was involved in the ground game directly and making that change, I could have been just as dubious as you are right now. Now that I'm directly involved in changing my government, I see the change happening at the local level and at the state level in my state. We've watched the change over the last 2 years. You know how I can tell you that we're winning right now? Is the amount of power we have within the Democratic Party right now. Is how far left we've been able to push them back without actually even having a midterm yet. We've got them talking about single payer because they have no fucking choice. We're winning. That's the war. This is gaining and losing ground within the narrative. That's the war. All right? We do that with pawns, which are the people that we put in place. That's one aspect of the war. But in terms of the narrative, in terms of education, in terms of informing the electorate as to what's going on, we're winning. That's obvious. That's apparent with the number of people that are concerned about climate change. That's apparent with the way our scientists are operating. That's apparent with the thousands of scientists and women that have registered to run as candidates. When you've got thousands and thousands of people across the United States for the first time in decades scrambling to learn how to become government officials so that they can take the place over, you don't get to tell me we're not winning or it's not going to work. You're just not connected to the fact that it is happening right now. It's slow and it sucks. It's really slow and it really sucks. But it's getting better every day, and I'm feeling way more better about it today than I was 6 months ago. I'm more concerned today about climate change fucking us all up before we get there than I am about us being able to get there. I have complete confidence in the American citizens and in the citizens of the globe to be able to overcome corporate control because I'm watching it happen faster than I ever thought it could. So that's just my personal belief. Today, I'm feeling pretty positive. I don't remember when the last time I was feeling pretty negative and depressed, but I'm sure it'll happen in a few days because this is how things go. Right? That's why this is conversational therapy for the revolution and not strategy and tactics for the revolution.
John.
Yeah.
John, just call it to be alive.
To be alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be alive.
It doesn't mean if you are happy all the time. It also means you go to the dark side, you think about your life and so on. That's normal. So yeah, fuck it.
It is. And it's true. actually. If you look back through the course of human history, at recorded the parts of it that have been recorded very well by human beings that bothered to do so, you see the same struggles. The same struggle. And it's really the struggle of community and coming together versus division. It's really what it comes down to. And to come together as an entire species, to become greater than we are as individuals, we have to have all of us equal in all aspects at an agreeable level. That's really what we're fighting for. All right. Now, talking about the narrative, this is a clip that I have to frame. Yeah. Sinclair Broadcasting Group, or the Sinclair Broadcast Group, is a very powerful media entity, and one of the reasons why I think we need to continue to grow this entity and work with other larger independent media networks is because we're fighting Sinclair and their messaging that goes out to local news. And I don't think we realize often how powerful that narrative is. This video is going to show us just a little bit of the frightening aspects of the narrative that Sinclair Broadcasting forces on its affiliates, which is really not in the best interest of the people. Here we go.
Good evening. This is the all-new ABC 7 News. I'm Lisa Schmidt.
And I'm Larry Lemons, and tonight we want you to know.
The bottom line is this. CNN, along with other cable news networks, is struggling to stick to the facts and to be impartial in covering politics in general and this president specifically.
The company in charge of security for the Wimbledon tennis tournament says the ringleader of the London bridge attack did apply for a job. Now, he was not interviewed and no interview was scheduled. He just filled out an online application.
Yeah. When we talk about narrative, that's, you may not think, be like, there's no way we're there yet. Sorry, he went to the end story, which is kind of interesting. We don't think about that. Like, I have to go back now and think about the 80s, the 90s, when I was, younger and more susceptible to this bullshit, and what they were pushing over the news, right? And it was a message of America's great, and we're dropping bombs on everybody because we need to, and it's great. Right? I'm thinking of the Gulf War one and shit prior to that, which was basically fear tactics about the Cold War, right? Prior to the Gulf War, we had the Cold War, right? And Sinclair, because here's the slippery chain. We put in office a bunch of shitty dirt bags that are even worse than the dirt bags we already had in office. And then that dirtbag puts somebody in the FCC that's a dirtbag, and that dirtbag says we're going to ease regulations that allows Sinclair to own 70% of local news outlets, which is a monopoly and ridiculous. That whole fair and balanced thing that we got rid of in '87 thanks to the Reagan admin, and then the 1996 Telecommunications Act, which allowed cable news networks to do whatever the fuck they want with our political content, allows, with easing of regulations now, allows Sinclair to basically monopolize the narrative. And what is in that narrative, as you guys saw some examples, and you guys were talking about, it's, so the guy applied for a fucking job. That's a terror alert? Like, that's basically making a mountain out of a mole. No one gives a fuck, right? But if you see that enough, every time, oh my gosh, that happened. Oh, look, oh my gosh, right? Another Muslim trying to go for a job. You don't even know what the fuck. It's like unbelievable bullshit. It's that repeated messaging. That repeated messaging is what turns Americans who are indoctrinated, who watch that shit every fucking day. They wait for their serious story. They wait for their sad story. They wait for the puppy story. They wait for the weather, which the weather now sounds like the wars of the Gulf War. We have a terror threat, too, in Minnesota with EF4 and 5 tornadoes. The threat level there with thunderstorms is also on high. There are roughly 10,000 people in danger. They're basically, and they're not lying about any of this stuff. They're just using words, threat, danger. When they say, and I watch the Weather Channel. Like, I actually like watching this because the weather is exciting. And they produce it like it's a war, right? They show scenes of the golf ball size hail and people running for their lives. They're not even showing scenes of the weather they're talking about. They're just talking about extreme weather. But right after that, they go into a story about impending storms. They're like coming threatening storms, life-threatening storms, potentially life-threatening storms approaching. Right? The weather has become the exciting. We don't have a war really to focus on, and people don't really want to watch war anymore. We're kind of bored with that. We've seen a lot of war, like reruns of war, right? So now it's weather killing people. And we got a lot of exciting footage on that. But that narrative, I don't know, maybe the weather narrative is good. Maybe that'll help. Except the problem is they're not calling it climate change. They're calling it natural disaster or a freak disaster or biblical or historic, anything but science-driven climate change caused by man.
Exactly what I said earlier.
Yes. And I want to clarify, I meant man. Sorry, Marcus, what do you say?
No, it was all. It was clear that the narrative is spun, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And I did mean man, I was just going to say. Because I believe that man is more responsible for the pollution of this planet than women. Because if we had more women in care of this planet, it wouldn't look this way. No way.
John, it's the oldest playbook. Conquer and divide. Divide and conquer. Yep. Divide the people and you can rule over them like you want to do it. And they will not fight you as the person who tries to take over. No, they're fighting each other.
Yep.
This is happening in America and around the world.
It is. Melissa needs some inspiration. Look at Bernie. See Bernie right there?
Yeah.
He's giving the side eye. He's what are you talking about? That's Bernie. And extinction event for fuck's sake, right, Julie Love? What did you say up here? Sally Silva, CNN is not a news network. They actually used to be, sadly. I know a guy who was part of the original 1980s crew for CNN, and he talks very passionately about what they actually stood for when they began. And the way that, I don't know if you ever knew this, but the way CNN was the first to bring global live coverage. They were on the story, they had the technology, they were on the story there before any news station could get it. And they were the first to just go live with the story. Really like that. Other news agencies would take the time to put together the story. They were like, just put them in front of a mic, put them in front of a camera, put them in the war zone, and tell them to go. And that's how they made their name, was by covering war. Really. Right? Anyway, they're not, you're right. And they were actually, this whole CNN was purchased by Ted Turner right as the whole 1996 Telecom Act went into place. Go figure. Right? So, but that's not when they started, right? CNN existed before then. Just saying. That really, the shift with the Telecom Act was when they changed bigly, because that one was when they were allowed to take our political content and make it a fucking football game, right? Gave it cheerleaders and boobies and beer and everything we needed for everything we needed, except for the truth, right? What?
Boobies on American television? Do you are you confused about this? This is a German thing, not an American thing.
No, I'm sorry. Let me clarify. I didn't mean naked boobies. I just meant.
Okay.
I'm sorry. In America, we do cleavage. I should have been. It's cleavage. Yeah. You guys just go all out of boobies and nobody cares. Here we do cleavage. My bad. I'm sorry. Either way, it was just the feminization of what for American men. We're going to stop there, leave it at that. Wolf Blitzer and CNN aired Pentagon videos to give Americans military. Yeah, I know. Exactly, Phil. That's exactly. I remember that so vividly. Just like the way that Wolf Blitzer would, he described it a hard-on. Wolf Blitzer was getting a hard-on delivering the news. Look at those beautiful missiles. Oh, such a big, hard missile hitting that Baghdad right there. It was ridiculous. America was all so pathetic. So pathetic. P&P Railroad, just 10 minutes to beer. Good for you, sir. Congratulations. 10 minutes to weed. If we can get out of here on time, but I'm so far behind. We're going to run that later. Skip that. What's this? Here. This is from Markus really quick.
No scorpion thingy.
No. But almost
Okay.
as bad for you. Say goodbye to the internal combustion engine.
Yep.
It's on its way out because so many other agencies, so many businesses involved with making vehicles are saying we're on our way to just all electric. And there's big investments. Somebody, scroll down a little bit. Where are we in here? Keep going. Here's the list. So Tesla invested $5 billion in its Nevada gigafactory, right? Volvo made waves announcing it was going solely electric hybrid. Mercedes is invested $740 million into a battery factory. And there's some staggering numbers about California. I wasn't aware of. Just scroll down. There's more numbers. California has 300,000 electric vehicles on the road, right? This whole list, you guys should read this. We don't have time. So it's on its way. The surge is on its way. I don't know what's going to happen in Germany for you, Markus, but you guys better, I'm telling you, retrofitting those cars.
I'm pretty sure that our engineers will go on and improve the diesel techniques, and everything will be fine.
Or improve their cheating techniques, right? Is that
yes.
We will talk about this on Friday, so guys,
yes.
be patient.
Yeah, and Phil, I see you saying Tesla is union busting, and I'm going to say I hope that we can put public pressure on Elon Musk to make sure that doesn't get worse and that he improves situations there, because we need his forward thinking and we need his factories right now, and so it's up to us. It's kind of my point with Amazon, right? Jeff Bezos can keep his model successful and still pay a decent wage, all right? So can Elon Musk. I mean, that's up to us. That's up to us to force that in, all right? And change the way businesses are allowed to do business. In Germany, not getting into business law, but I guarantee you they are more regulated with their businesses than we are in the United States. And the only reason they're able to be more regulated isn't because the businesses said, well, we are German businesses and we have honor and integrity and we feel like paying bullshit. They're business just like every other business, right?
You are absolutely right about bureaucracy here in Germany, and this is why we can be so happy to have a good mental care here in Germany, because some people can go nuts about getting their papers together.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe,
I have a little story of myself about this topic, but guys, forget it.
All right, well, you write it down and you save it for your EU segment. We'll call it Stories by Deniz.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. We're in the more climate really quick here. This is kind of a duh. Nitrogen problem. Why global warming is making it worse. So I've talked about this for a while. The recursive cycle of climate change. When you bring in more rain, it allows for more nitrogen to flow. When you add more nitrogen to the soil and there's more rain, they perpetuate each other, right? So things are going to get worse as things get warmer, because warmer and wetter promotes nitrogen. Nitrogen promotes warmer and wetter. It's an endless cycle of, oh shit, we should have stopped this cycle a long time ago. Iowa causing major problems, and is that from Iowa? I don't even know what that is. That's in the St. Clair somewhere. There's a lake, an algae bloom, because they got the big algae blooms happening in Florida, right? And then
Yes.
Steve knows about this. Yeah, Okeechobee. Then you got a bunch of people saying, it's just algae, it's not toxic. You got a bunch of other people saying it's algae in a fucking. I believe it is toxic. Anyway, Yep, everything needs boobies and beer, especially the truth.
Yeah. Good one, Sally.
The American truth, absolutely. Or is it German truth too? Is that universal truth? I don't know.
I think boobies are true everywhere.
Really? Deniz in Turkey?
Oh, look how he looks.
Guys, Turkish people are in this aspect also like Americans. They're very conservative about showing boobies and all this stuff. Yeah, so really, it's also censored and so on. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So not on TV, not in Turkish TV.
Not on TV. No.
Okay. German's so much different. So even though they have, like a really like kind of businessy, Merkel, that they're pretty loose on their TV laws and kind of nice. Anyway, what do we have time-wise? 5 minutes. We're cruising along. Here we go. This is obvious. The U.S. military is the world's biggest polluter because they use the majority of the resources. They're the biggest military ever, and we just go around leaving our shit all over the place. And what's interesting is as things melt, we're finding a lot of that crap. There's an entire, this article just goes on to list shit tons of stuff we've just dumped. We're the military. We just fought off the Nazis. Let's dump all this crap here. In Greenland, there's an entire base that was there during the Cold War that stored all of its stuff, feces, everything, all of its garbage. It didn't take care of it. Oh, sorry. It just buried it. They're like, well, it's in the ice. This isn't ever going to melt. Just leave it there. Guess what? It's melted. It's there. It's exposed. We're so stupid. Just a big dumb dick. That's all we really are. Deviate. So Katie has been talking about these guys, 30 Rev, and I had heard the name before, but I couldn't figure out where the name had come from, and it's because they did a while back, like 4 months ago, they did a really cool, just fan-based commercial trailer promo for Justice Democrats. Well, apparently they're doing a promo for this video. This came out July 20th, 2017. This is for a video about climate deviate. We're just going to watch this, and I like this. Well put together. I'm hoping that we can connect with them. Katie was thinking, you guys should connect. This would be a great resource connection because obviously they've got some serious video skills here. So enjoy, and thank you, Katie, for pointing this out.
People sometimes don't feel true empathy for the victims of disaster because they think that they are simply a victim of where they live.
Basically, there's an unequal distribution of risk.
We look at the presidents of the countries or mayors of the cities, they're still saying natural disasters. We are not taking responsibility by saying natural disasters over and over and over again.
It is their local conditions that in effect determine whether an event is a disaster or not.
We have to take into account the historical context of each society and ask ourselves, why are people at risk?
But I think that we are actually spending more money on constructing risk than we are on reducing risk.
It is the growth engine, consumerism for those who have the means to consume, with greed on the part of the 1%. That development engine is driving us right off the edge.
People are not thinking enough about the implications of the policies that they're coming up with.
We will invest a great amount of money, great amount of effort into something that will help us, but will completely destroy future generations.
Hacen faltas escuelas, hace falta calles.
There's lots of things that come together to shape how we see the world, which doesn't include empathy with people who are not like us.
That's really the big question mark. Whether we become a civilization that takes care of each other.
We're all going down or up together.
We should be practitioners of justice and hope and light.
The fundamental premise is that you can't solve a problem unless you know what causes it.
I often will say it's
creation of the nation state is the worst thing that ever happened to humanity.
Inequalities are becoming more extreme.
In times of climate change, we're going to see an increase of displacement.
One of the best tools that we have is where we put our money. We were amazed of how the people got involved and supported the actions.
My goal is not to see the people on the stage, but the people that are on the streets.
Yes, the end is near, but also the beginning is near.
Disasters can be combated by looking at some of the reasons why people are vulnerable.
I think the best approach we can take is a moral approach.
You can treat symptoms, but the phenomenon will continue recurring if you don't treat causes.
And realize that no disaster is natural.
There you go. Deviate. That looks pretty cool. I'd like to get in touch with them and find out what's going on. We talked about this. It's just the fact that the Trump admin is removing climate change from, it's basically the censorship. I kind of skipped ahead. What's next? Thank you, Steve. A blank page.
Yeah.
That blank page is actually just a really quick note about horses. The federal government Bureau of Land Management or whatever has been ordered by a judge to, just forget it. I'll just tell everybody. It's just really cool. Basically, the government's trying to take back land that we said needs to be left alone for horses because they were there first and it's forest land and whatever. The government's like, no, we'd like to take that back and rape it for resources. And the federal judge was like, you can't. So a nice small reprieve for greedy Trump admin. And this was just a quick note on mosquito season because it's been bugging us around here. And it is worse because wetter, warmer mosquitoes. So pretty simple correlation right there. And we don't have time for this. There's a little note in there. There's a good video running on Facebook about the fact that currently we're 7 months into the year. We've already used a year's worth of resources. That basically we use more than this planet actually creates for us in terms of sustainable resources. It's pretty frightening how gluttonous we are in that sense. It is. The system is faith-based on selfishness, Darcy. Absolutely. It's a great way to say. Where will all what people go? All the newborns? Where are what people? That's a great question. We've got a lot of work to do to take care of everybody in general. And, I mean, I haven't even talked about the fact that we know right now there are millions of children dying or at risk of death across Africa and other places where climate change has devastated this planet. And we're just feeling the effects here in America, but we're so disjointed and our news is so siloed that we don't understand just the magnitude of the destruction that is occurring in the United States of America right now. And at some point, we're all going to wake up and go, holy shit. We just got knocked down to a second-tier country, by the way. We have a flawed democracy, and we're no longer a first-world nation. I live in a second-world nation now. Yay! Go capitalist democracy. Kind of failed. Is the experiment over yet? This is just a last note on climate change, which they're finding a lot of dead people or people that were dead a long time ago because they climbed up in glaciers and died.
They are still dead.
Right, they're still dead. They're not changing that anytime soon. But I think it's interesting that as things, I see more and more stories like this, Markus, and snow melted here, which is the first time it's ever done in 1,000 years, and look at all the stuff we found. You know?
Yeah. And if you look not only the Alps, if you look at the South Pole and what's going on there, a lot of people are already there to check out what's under the rest of the ice and what to get out of it, you know. And this says a lot. We know where I'm talking about, right? If it's gonna melt, Antarctica, ancient aliens. Yeah. Ancient aliens, you know, that's where they got a pyramid out there. It's all there. The pyramids, yes, the pyramids also. Hey, don't you know this, Deniz? The Germans
Hitler was all into Antarctica. He sent a whole expedition down there.
I know.
They had a base
it was,
down there.
It was not only Hitler. There were some other guys. They
Oh,
were in
we did
Tibet.
it.
They were everywhere. They were very close to the occult and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's we sent everybody has sent people down there.
And guys.
Yeah. What's up?
Hitler was not a German. Hitler was an Austrian. So guys, don't forget this.
That's very true. He also didn't even fit his own genetic description. So
Yeah, doesn't change shit.
But but this is a very important point.
It is. All right. So you guys talking about their world peace? Nice, Jilly Love. World peace, not world piss. Yeah, there wasn't to a lot of weird occult stuff. I don't find this. I don't find any of his weird occult stuff any more different than an occult that believes in pretending to eat the body and blood of a dude that's part of 3 dudes. The Catholic religion is all sorts of fucked up occult bullshit. It's just been normalized, like cops murdering people, or the state of our environment. It's been normalized, or the way our government functions. It's been normalized. Just saying. Anyway. What? No, you talk. Oh, yeah, bees. Nah. All right. We're getting out of here with a song that Markus picked for Saturday's show.
Yeah.
And it was Love is a Battlefield, right?
Exactly.
Did you have a personal story you wanted to share about this? Because I love this song. It's a great song.
No, okay, I got to be honest. In the 80s, when it came up, I wasn't a big fan of the song. I didn't hate it. I thought Pat Benatar has a very good voice, but it was not the thing which blew me up out of my shoes. And it was just a song from the 80s. But I discovered this live version we are going to see, and I think that she is very, very good as a live musician, and she has kept the voice she had in the 80s. And if you look at the guitar player, it's her husband, and they are married since she became successful. I think it was 1982 or something like this, and they are harmonizing on the stage, and I think it was very impressive to see this. And this is why I picked this song. This is the whole what's behind it, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm glad you said those things. Dennis, do you have a personal story about this song?
Yeah, no, I have my personal battlefield tomorrow with my future father-in-law. Yeah,
love will truly be a battlefield. We hope
a minefield. In your case, it would be in a minefield.
Good luck with that.
But you will make it, man. You will make it.
You're so right though. Neil Giraldo is the guitar player, has been the guitar player for Pat Benatar since the beginning, and they did get married in the 80s, and he has been the key writer, instrumentalist with her on all of their songs. And if you look at the credits now, it used to just say Pat Benatar. Now it says Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo on all the title credits, because he really deserves a lot of the credit. It's awesome that there are a couple that stayed together, not only in rock and roll. That's pretty unusual. Not only that, they've maintained a tour. Like, they have not stopped touring since their big hits in the 80s. They do state fairs, and they love it. It's not like they're on this depressing, we're not a big hit anymore.
They are still active.
Yeah.
Impressing. Cool.
Yeah, and I saw them 10 years ago doing the same, act, and they were just as passionate, just as awesome. And it's really cool. And love is a goddamn battlefield. And right now, our love for this planet and for each other is at battle with our greed and our hypocrisy and our indoctrinations, and we kind of have to clean that shit up if we want to survive and hear more songs. There's your tie-in to political stuff today. Dennis, Markus, thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us, and enjoy the day.
Bye-bye.
And for tomorrow, don't forget to tune in when John has We the People, Dorothy Gaskey, and you should watch it.
Oh yeah.
And we will see us again on Friday.
Thank you so much. And Steve at Com, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us today. Please share the links in the description there to all the sources that we use, and we appreciate those sources for taking the time to actually be sources. Thank you, Kat, Dewey, Patricia. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. There is no Wednesday Awake anymore because I got too much shit to do. And that's true. I got a lot of stuff to get ready for the Eclipse event, and we got other stuff happening, and there's just stuff going on. And so, yeah, harvest time here. There's a lot of figs I got to pick. But anyway, here we go. Love is a battlefield. See you tomorrow night.
Lost nearly 1,000 local seats. 1,000! I literally can't imagine a worse record. But us progressives, we're the radicals. You see?